Hi, Sagittarius. Sloppy shuffle. I'm blaming you. It is your mid-September reading for 2020, and I've been shuffling the cards off camera more effectively than that shuffle, and now I'm shuffling a few times on camera so that you can see the star has been... No, I'm sorry, it was not in the last reading. It was in Libra's reading, I think. I've been mentioning in all my videos that I've done the last couple days that I am suffering financially at the moment. So if you're at all interested in a personal reading, the prices are lowered for this month to $8 for so they're very inexpensive, for a one question reading, and $11 for 2 questions. So if you are interested at all in that, please do that. There's information in the description box on how to get a hold of me, and if not, that's cool too. 3 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Please just enjoy this reading. Give me just one moment to take this in. Okay, I don't understand exactly what's going on here, so I'm just going to start reading. I feel like you are either anticipating or hopeful about communication coming in. I think that you're waiting for communication to come in. It's something that you are... Let me adjust these just a little bit so you can see them better. I've been having issues. Yesterday I was setting them up perfectly so you could see them in the camera, but today it's a little less perfect. But I feel like this is something that this communication is something that you're feeling positive about. You're very hopeful, both that it will come in and that it will be good news. And I feel like you're kind of waiting stoically for it to come in. It's not something that is really throwing you off balance. Even though there is this element of anticipation, it's not something that you're anxiously anticipating or anything like that. You're able to just kind of sit back and observe that you are waiting for this, that you are looking forward to this, but it's not coming in yet. Dispassionately almost. That you can let the emotions that come up move through you and release them without becoming overly attached to them. I do think there is this part of you, there is this element though that you recognize that you are vulnerability, and that you do have this vulnerability to lapse into something like that. Like maybe in the past you would have approached the situation this way, and there also could be an element of, at times you have this stoic detachment and this ability to detach yourself from anticipation and the emotions that well up surrounding this. And there might be times when you are a little less mature about it. Maybe your shadow comes more to the fore and you feel a little overwhelmed by the possibilities. You start thinking more about the possibilities of how things might turn out. I do think that the dominant energy is that you are handling this well. But there is this element at play that's very real, of maybe at times getting caught up in illusions about where things are going, that things will end in conflict with your disappointment. It's I've done, this is the third reading that I've done this morning, and there's this kind of theme throughout it, even though the cards have been very different. Like the way that but when I start reading it, um, there is this element of blockage in all of them. And Libra's was the most positive one, but this one is probably, no, Scorpio is pretty wrought with the idea of conflict too. I think that when you are not able to have that kind of stoic detachment, basically, your mind might drift towards the idea that things will be a lot worse, that things could go really badly. I mean, at the center of the bottom row here, we have the Seven of Wands, the Five of Cups, and the Nine of Wands. So it's like this anticipation that you have to be on guard against attack because somebody will come and hurt you and fuck up your situation, and you'll be disappointed and wounded. That you're going to look back you'll look back hurt, thinking about how badly things have gone wrong. But you're looking in the wrong direction. You're looking at it entirely the wrong way if that's what you're doing. Because the truth, symbolized by the Queen of Swords here, the Queen of Swords is definitely somebody who can discern truth, can rise above the confusion. I always point that out about the Swords court cards, because as you see here in the page, he's younger, he's a little more immature, and his head is kind of in the clouds. The clouds have risen up to head level, you know? And the Knight is similarly surrounded by clouds. But when you hit the Queen, and the King is even more so, the Queen's head is above the clouds. It's not that there are, and the clouds to me represent thinking, they represent the thoughts. It's not that the Queen doesn't experience these thoughts of conflict and it could be, anxiety, whatever, about how things are going to go. It's that she's able to rise above them. Maybe practice meditation if this sort of thing starts to well up within you. Maybe just sit down and kind of quiet your mind and develop a more helpful relationship to the thoughts, rather than identifying with the thoughts and letting them consume you and convincing you that things are actually bad or that things are going to go poorly. Elevate yourself to the point where you are identified more with the awareness that the thoughts are arising, but that they are thoughts and they are not necessarily the way things are going to go. Because you see they're kind of back to back here, the Nine of Wands and the Queen of Swords, and the Nine of Wands is looking back in this direction, looking back at this Five of Cups and Seven of Wands as like, this is the reality. This is the way things are. I should be on guard because things are going to go badly. I'm going to get hurt. I'm going to get hurt emotionally. My pride is going to be hurt. But the Queen is unshakable in not giving in to those fears. She's looking in the other direction. She's risen above the clouds. She's almost, with her left hand, she's got her sword in her right hand, and almost with her left hand just kind of dispersing the clouds away from her so that she's not clouded by fearful thinking about how things are going to go. Can I get a little more insight into how things will develop? Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. You will be able to maintain this stability. You have three of the queens out here right now. The only one that's not out here is the Queen of Cups, which I think the Queen of Cups has been in the last two readings, so that's kind of funny. But there is this sense, along with the Hierophant and the Emperor, of that ultimately you do have this stability that you can rely on. That ultimately, through whatever is unfolding, you will remain unshakable. And I think that there will be emotional support for you offered, and that you're going to appreciate it, and it's going to be more than enough to get you through whatever is going to happen. I think that this Knight of Cups most likely represents this communication that you're hoping for coming forward. That maybe you're wanting somebody to express their emotions to you. And I do see that is, a potential to come forward. Like, it's a real thing that will happen. I'm going to shuffle these a couple more times. I've shuffled them a bunch of times off camera, but shuffle these oracle cards a couple times, and then pull a couple of oracle cards, and then close out the reading. This is a little bit shorter than the other readings I've done today, but whatever message comes out is whatever message comes out. Cornucopia, Angel of Balance, Broken Heart on the bottom of the deck. I think that's just talking about, that's crazy. Not really, because if you read tarot or are just in touch with the way the universe is, you know that this is how things work out. But then we've got the Three of Swords on the bottom of the tarot deck and the Broken Heart on the bottom of this. I think that's like your hidden fear that this will end in heartache and loss. But these two cards definitely suggest, particularly Cornucopia, suggests that things will actually end up going really well. And the Angel of Balance here is coming across more to me as the guidance of using the Emperor as a model of behavior, and the Queen of Wands as well, of like, it's just encouraging you to get in that meditative state and not succumb to anxiety or thoughts about how things are going to go badly. To recognize that those are thoughts, that those aren't reality, and that's not a guarantee that things will not be bumpy, but that you have to have some element of knowing that you can traverse a bumpy path, that you can withstand that with your integrity without having your foundational principles shaken, or just in fact being utterly destroyed and beaten by circumstances that you face. That's not real. That's not real. You've got to maintain a sense of balance and trust that your guiding star is something worth having trust in. You have to let that star shine brighter than the moon. Because I feel like that's the light that you have to trust to guide you forward. I hope that resonates with you, Sagittarius. I'm going to wrap up the reading right there. And I hope you have a great rest of your month. And take care of yourself. Bye.